The way the blues has been adapted into modern guitar playing, I think there's two ways you can think about it. There's the purists who are really kind of right there with their influences, wearing them on their sleeves. And then there's another segment of people who kind of completely ignore everything about the blues. You know, on the surface that is. I feel like there's a little bit of blues in every kind of music. And that's just because it's very foundational, especially as a guitar player. So how can we take the blues and make it modern? I think the blues has so much to offer, and there's so many different harmonic, rhythmic, and melodic devices that we can pick and choose and implant into an otherwise non-bluesy context. I think this is a way of modernizing an otherwise very old traditional sound, and well, the results, I just want to say, they're spectacular. We're going to be getting into a little bit of music theory in this lesson, so if you'd like to support my channel, hit subscribe, like this video, share it, whatever you want to do, or check out Guitar Super System. There's a link to subscribe right down below. Tens of thousands of you have already signed up, and I hope to see you on the other side. There's plenty of music theory for you, as well as tips, tricks, licks, and a whole assortment of various lessons for all sorts of guitar players. Thanks again for your support. Now let's get started with the first sort of blues that I think a lot of us learn. Let me grab my guitar here. Every guitar player is familiar with this sound, right? Okay, maybe you're not familiar with that sound on a harp guitar, but you do recognize it, and that's really the point of this video. I'm going to show you things that you recognize in the blues and kind of maybe try and trick you, except I won't really be able to because I'm going to be showing you exactly where I'm harvesting these different tips and techniques from the blues. And odd time signatures is a way to really emphasize these different nuances and show you guys how they can be effective. So an odd time signature, let's just go way out there and do 15/8. Well, it should be as simple as just changing what we already know from 4/4 and increasing the number of eighth notes we have in a measure from 8 to 15. As long as we change the chords at the right time from the E to the A to the B, stick to that chordal structure, we should still sound pretty bluesy. It'll just feel a little different. And here's a little tip to count 15/8. Just break it into 7 and 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I've taken this little move and just adapted it to this 15/8 feel. And sticking to blues licks in this context will help you feel the bluesy tonality, but also give you a sense of a more modern vibe in the blues. So what's more bluesy than a Texas blues shuffle? I mean, you can just hear what a blues guitarist would play over that, right? Drum beat doesn't always have to be a Texas shuffle. In fact, let's stick to the shuffle, but I came up with this kind of shuffling feel with a finger-picking technique that I'm sure somebody's used before, and yet it moves along the same exact harmonic path that our shuffle wood. We're gonna stick to a 1-4-5 just as we would in a normal blues progression. And so while this isn't actually in an odd time signature, the way I'm playing the guitar riff actually dissuades the listener from thinking this is a very common sound. And yet, it is, technically. And if you notice, if I put that kind of lame sounding Texas shuffle that I played over the drum beat originally, if I layer that on top, you'll notice it fits perfectly. Now going further with modernizing your blues using an odd time signature, different time signatures over top of each other. Led Zeppelin did this famously in Kashmir, where the guitar part is in 3/4, the drums are in 4/4, and the phase kind of cycles back around. Well, I'm gonna come up with a drum part that's in 5/4, and I'm gonna come up with a guitar riff in 4/4, and that guitar riff, again, is gonna be the blues harmony structure, 1-4-5. So you're gonna feel the harmony of the blues, but it's gonna be anything but bluesy, which is demonstrating the fact that even if a song doesn't sound bluesy, it could have come from a place of pure blues. Blues. Oh, side note, this might be one of my favorite guitar tones I've ever recorded. I'm gonna play you both sides so you can hear the blend of the different guitar tones working together. Here's the left side. If you'll notice, this riff's in 4/4. Now what happens when we put this 4/4 guitar riff over a 5/4 drum groove? Well, it's magical, modern blues. And the thing about blues guitar, the phrasing is really what separates the greatest guitar players. When you can just hear a phrase that they play and be like, oh, that's B.B. King. It's sort of like somebody's speaking voice. And that doesn't have to stop just because you're playing in an odd time signature. So I'm going to play some blues phrases that outline the blues chords, that 1-4-5 progression, but we're also going to have this 5/4 drum groove in the background, a little bit different than the one from before, but you'll hear I'm drawing directly from blues phrasing, trying to come up with a motif for each chord to outline it for you, while also still kind of getting my bluesy, raunchy bends on. I hope you enjoyed this lesson. Thanks a lot for watching. If you're interested in supporting me further, please check out Guitar Super System, and here we go. The most modern bluesy thing that I could come up with. guys.